The Brazilian balance of trade with Tyneside appeared to have reached record levels, matched only perhaps by the expectations of the fans.
His first touch, the way he can touch a ball, knock it about, and he's fast, really fast.
If he doesn't score the goals, they'll send him packing.
Plenty of goals, I hope. Can't he good like him, say none. But yeah, we're right, like they want to get somebody like another big name in to take the pressure off him.
Inside, even the legendary heroes of St James's Park were totally behind the new signing. Whether Jackie Milburn and Mirandinha can ever be mentioned in the same breath remains to be seen. But recent criticism by Tommy Doherty and Jimmy Greaves of the Brazilian recruit was not welcome.
Rubbish. Utter rubbish. In the first place, our lads go across to Italy. It's 110, 120, and they've done well, including Greaves. He should know better than to talk like that. And playing in the winter, there's no difference to playing in the summer. If you're playing well and playing in a decent team and got decent support, you'll play up the side of a mountain and enjoy it. Conditions doesn't mean a thing to any player in the world.
With the kick-off in sight, the atmosphere, in spite of the downpour, was building up nicely. Although not everyone close to the ground understood what all the fuss was about.
Oh, football?
Yes.
Oh, yes. I just come from China.
Ah.
So I don't know.
It's about football and this player called Mirandinha.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Where? The football? Where?
At St James's Park.
Oh, yes, yes.
They have a Brazilian player now, a new Brazilian player.
Very interesting.
But a special kind of excitement had returned to St James's Park. Even long-time heroes wished they could turn the clock back.
It's nice to see somebody in my whole shirt, you know. There's been some good players in the number 9 shirt, and
you still got a bit of an itch in the feet at this time, though, do you?
I've got an itch now. I'm standing. I can't wait for the match to start, quite honestly, Alan. But I mean, you hear and read a lot about we ourselves. We write and we tell the public things, and they're interested and they read. But I'll tell you this: the Geordie public make their own mind up, and Mirandinha will know this afternoon whether he's made it or not. No doubt about that.
Certainly, the Geordie welcome couldn't have been warmer for the boy from Brazil. Even the sun had emerged to add to the carnival atmosphere among the all-ticket crowd. They didn't have long to wait for the first glimpse of Mirandinha magic. That lovely turn giving the little man the chance to demonstrate his lightning acceleration, though the final shot was hardly in the Pelé class. But Wimbledon had no intention of entering the party spirit, and they silenced the samba rhythms by scoring twice in a minute. The first, a freakish own goal off Martin Thomas's head, though John Fashanu claimed the credit. Worse followed immediately when Alan Cork was left completely unmarked to volley past the stranded keeper. 2-0 to Wimbledon, and the game less than 10 minutes old. Mirandinha was working hard at establishing a Brazilian blend with his new teammates. A neat 1-2 with Paul Goddard gave him the chance to test Dave Besant's reactions. But he was in danger of being upstaged by referee Michael Peck, who booked 6 players in the first half of what was definitely becoming a typically English game. Any doubts about the league's first Brazilian import were rapidly disappearing. Another wriggling run leaves 2 defenders trailing, but there's no one to convert the cross. In the second half, Newcastle almost fell further behind when Kenny Wharton headed off the line from Andy Sayer. And it seemed that Mirandinha was the only player likely to pull them back into it. Again, he shows he's not afraid to shoot from long range. Besant happy to scramble the ball away. The keeper did even better to hold Neil MacDonald's header from a Glyn Hodges corner. But with 14 minutes left, the same combination forced the breakthrough. Another corner, and Mr. Peck, who'd enjoyed a less conspicuous second half, maybe his pen had run out, awards Newcastle a penalty. MacDonald does the rest. Could United salvage a point? It was too much to hope that Mirandinha could crown his exciting display by snatching the equaliser. That's obviously what he had in mind here, but it wasn't to be. Only a brilliant double save from Thomas kept the score at 2-1 as United slid to a second home defeat. But while his disappointment at the end was plain for all to see, Mirandinha's place in Geordie folklore already looks assured.
Yeah, the goals will come, no problem. if they keep creating those opportunities, there must not be any problem.
But on yesterday's showing, problems galore for Newcastle manager Willie McFall. He pulled off the transfer scoop of the year by signing Mirandinha, but the fans are clamouring for more new faces to bolster a side short on confidence and quality.
Poor Brazilians, some of us, me included, still don't know how to pronounce the lads' names.
Wimbledon's current form was good, while Arsenal had picked up just 5 points out of a possible 18 in the last few weeks. So the chance of a first ever win over an Arsenal side hit by injury and illness was on the cards. Such optimism took an early knock though, when after only 3 minutes Arsenal broke with authority and speed. The pace was provided by Perry Groves, unsettling the Wimbledon defence and setting up a chance at the near post for Niall Quinn. There then followed an uneasy spell for the home side in which their keeper Dave Besant nearly gifted the silliest goal of the season. Dave is renowned for his extrovert style of keeping, but this incident was more on the eccentric side and one which might just keep him awake tonight. What's that old saying about never taking your eye off the ball? At this stage Arsenal continued to have the better of things, and really it didn't come as too much of a surprise when they took the lead after 23 minutes. Groves' pace forced Wimbledon to concede a throw-in, and Arsenal were able to benefit from it, David Rocastle clipping in a perfect cross to the head of Quinn. "1-0 to Arsenal, and a moment of encouragement to the tall Republic of Ireland international who has lost his place to Alan Smith this season. It's also a goal which keeps Quinn in Irish manager Jack Charlton's thoughts, with the European Championship finals not that far away. So the first half belonged to Arsenal and their huge following, but what a turnaround within 3 minutes of the second half starting. Straight from the kick-off, Wimbledon attacked through Dennis Wise. Forcing his way to the goal line, he cut in and hit a precise cross which Alan Cork met superbly. 1-1 and a goal which owed a great deal to referee John Moores. With his linesman flagging furiously for a free kick, he allowed play to go on and Wimbledon reaped the benefit. Almost immediately, Cork returned the compliment to Wise as Wimbledon used the strong wind to their advantage. The well-known tactic of putting opposition under pressure from Besant's huge kicks worked a treat, although the Arsenal defence will be asking itself a few questions as well. They failed to clear the danger, gave the ball away, and this time it was Cork who set up the chance for Wise, one which the little number 11 took supremely well. 2-1 to Wimbledon, and Arsenal with only themselves to blame, although all credit to Wise for the left foot strike. For the next 20 minutes, Wimbledon literally laid siege to the Arsenal goal, with several clear-cut chances. First, Steve Williams was caught in possession in his own box by Sanchez, and only a magnificent save by John Lukic denied Alan Cork his second goal. Then the other goal scorer, Wise, had a chance for further glory. Carlton Fairweather's cross being side-footed over the bar. It was unusual to see the Arsenal defence so rattled and unsure, but that's the way it stayed for quite a while. Another long kick from Besant caused panic, and Fairweather's snapshot brought Lukic to his knees again. All this Wimbledon superiority took place in the 20 minutes that followed the interval, but then Arsenal came back. Kenny Sansom's long free kick led to David Rocastle threatening, and when Quinn went down in the box there were appeals for a penalty. The referee's whistle stayed silent, and clearly he thought Fairweather's left leg was stuck out in a genuine attempt to win the ball. But if that was a close call for Wimbledon, take a look at this one, as Rocastle rounds Besant only to see his shot brilliantly stopped on the line by the impressive Andy Thorne. With time running out fast, Rocastle was then involved in a fine Arsenal move. Running with the ball, he found Martin Hayes, who in turn got behind the defence, but the low cross evaded Quinn's lunging boot. It was to be Arsenal's last real chance of snatching a point, because 4 minutes later, in the 89th minute, Wimbledon sewed the game and 3 points up. Once again, questions have to be asked about the Arsenal defence, Not so much in the build-up, but when Sanchez found Vinnie Jones totally unmarked with the long ball. A cool calculating finish, and Wimbledon were home and dry. Wimbledon 3, Arsenal 1, and a game of great entertainment for the unbiased observer and, of course, the home fans. But what a contrast in moods between the two managers. For Arsenal's George Graham, the surprising slump in form continues. For Wimbledon's Bobby Gould, another bit of history for the club, and just as important.
Excellent game for football, Willow. It's a great game for people to come and see so many chances created. Nightmare for managers and coaches, but at the end of the day, anybody that's not enjoyed that game of football, not worth coming to watch football.
Yes, I would have done if I was a fan, but unfortunately, you know, I mean, it's my living, so obviously the result was poor for us. Looking back on the game, I think they outplayed us for about 25 minutes. Apart from that, I thought we had control of the game. We had a lot of chances, especially away from home, but what really upset me is we were defending. I thought it was awful.
After such a long unbeaten run, a winning run, this must be disappointing for you in terms of the championship.
Yes, it is, but people mustn't forget that we've got about half a dozen players of 21 and under today. You know, when things are going well and you're on a winning run, they just go out and enjoy it. You know, they're well organised, they're full of running. But when they sort of get a defeat or two, then their heads begin to drop. And that's a learning process, and it's something that they're going to have to sort of learn quickly if we're sort of going to go for honours.
Yeah, well, we've taken Liverpool to task here, 1-1, Everton 1-1, Notts Forest 1-1, and now we've beat Arsenal 3-1. And the players have a system that they believe in. Two players that have done well over the last 48 hours, Laurie Sanchez and Vincent Jones. And that's the engine room. And if those lads can motor like they have done over the last 2 games and keep that going to the end of the season, we won't be far away.
Quite nice that it was against one of your old clubs as well.
I think it's especially happy for Don Howe, who's suffering with a cold, had 2 dispirin at half-time to clear his headache because he didn't think we'd played that well. But no, we've come away, we beat West Ham, we beat Arsenal, but at the end of the day, we've got to take out the Maxwell might now. We've got to play Derby, and we've got to play Oxford within 24 hours, and if they get through that, we've had a good Christmas.
Oxford United's star against Wimbledon was Dean Saunders. His goal put them ahead after only 4 minutes. The crowd on a damp night at the Manor Ground was under 6,000, but it included 6 visiting First Division managers. And it was again Saunders who roused them. But he was denied a second goal by Dave Besant's positive goalkeeping on the edge of his area. Most of the excitement, however, came in the second half. That started with Peter Hucker's fine reflex save from John Gannon. Then Tommy Caton's header just beat Dean Saunders running in and the far post. By now, Alan Cork was on as sub for Wimbledon, and from Ian Hazel's corner, he headed the equaliser, his 7th goal of the season. But Wimbledon's celebrations were premature. Indecisive defending on the edge of their own penalty area and the determination of Les Phillips gave Oxford the lead again. Well, that all prompted a spirited Wimbledon response. John Fashionu's header, Carlton Fairweather's overhead shot. And the game ended as it began, with another Dean Saunders run, stopped first by Besant's save and then by the body of Andy Thorne. So that was Oxford United through 2-1.
Here's Barnes. It's a lovely turn. And in prolific form. But there was a case of John Barnes making something for himself out of very little. And Dave Besant had to be quick to get down there and hold on. Johnston, Whelan, Lawrence, Johnston again, Aldridge. Oh goodness, Dave Besant misjudged the looping header from John Aldridge. Gaudier. Sanchez. He's having a good spell at the moment, Grobbelaar. Gannon. But good pressure by Liverpool there. It's Beardsley and Barnes who break. McMahon making a run, so is Aldridge, still Barnes. McMahon, Aldridge! Good save by Dave Besant. Quite where he came from, I don't think John Aldridge knew. Glorious move by Liverpool. And McMahon, who made a terrific run from midfield to get on the end of the cross, did the unselfish thing and headed back to Aldridge, who was better placed. It was surely the right move. But when Aldridge tried to bury the header, there was Besant, who recovered superbly his position. Craig Johnston is the player who is being called off. And he will be replaced by Ray Houghton, the recent arrival from Oxford United, who's had the one game so far at Luton. Ray Houghton has gone into Johnston's position, wide on the right, wearing the number 12 shirt. Here's a first chance for Houghton then. And he's gone through everybody. Oh, what an impact by the substitute. What a wonderful moment for Ray Houghton. He's only been on the pitch a minute. Well, Houghton on his debut at Luton tried to do just that, and the shot was saved, but he went through everybody there, made the most of what was on, and slotted the ball in nicely. the lead, to the delight of their supporters. Here's Lawrenson. Nicely hooked in there, and here comes Houghton again. Oh, and that's hit the frame of the goal as well. It's beautifully hooked in by Beardsley. Oh, look at McMahon. Hanson, that's choice. McMahon. Barnes just laying back. And McMahon going for a spectacular finish. And Liverpool have turned on some style in this last quarter of an hour, that's for sure. Beardsley, Whelan, oh, and Houghton closing in again. Oh, mistake by Besant. Surely Houghton. Aldridge. Oh. I think Aldridge almost stopped Houghton's shot. They certainly got mixed up. Mind you, Wimbledon, battlers to the last, not out of things yet. Will they be now? Houghton it is from Aldridge's pass. Barnes coming in for the kill. Number 10. Good save, Besant. Barnes. Goodyear's there. Beardsley. Well, quite how the second goal hasn't arrived, I haven't a clue. All sorts of desperate defending. Near misses. Barnes. And Aldridge through. And still not. Besant saves this time. And it's fair weather for Wimbledon. Oh, Liverpool on the march again. Steve Nicol going all the way, perhaps. He did. Well saved. 12 minutes left. Still 1-0. Fashanu into Fairweather, and this is Gibson. Fashanu. And Ryan. Oh, and Fairweather! The equaliser! I don't think Carlton Fairweather knew too much about it, but it's certainly his goal. Fashanu crossed from the right. Vaughan Ryan had the shot, and the deflection by Fairweather took it past Grobbelaar.
Grow up was the blunt message. Gascoigne had squandered 3 golden chances to score, this one perhaps the best. His game is to mature, says McFall, or his talent will go to waste. At Plough Lane, it was Newcastle's cup ambitions that paid the short-term price.
Laurie Sanchez. Now Goodyear played in there. Ball pushed away, Fashanu! And not even a corner for Newcastle. Jackson. Cornwell. Darren Jackson. And that's going to be a penalty. Neil MacDonald with a chance to make it 1-1. Now, will Dave Besant have learned anything from a month ago? 1-1. Gannon. Bedford. Jackson getting it away, not very far. Ryan's in there. Gannon now looking to get his cross in, does so. Gibson with a header!